Hello, hi. Welcome to Wonderslut. Actually, I'm going to put my headphones on. This is Rebecca Crosby, and I am here with Sam Ritchie. I am so excited to have this conversation. Sam, we touched briefly last week on all the things about you, and I was so intrigued. I wanted to keep talking, but I was like, no.
Yeah, you were on the beach having a lovely time.
Okay, so tell us all the things about you, whatever you want us to know as we go into this conversation.
Okay, so I'm an angel guide, so I read oracle cards. I also offer past life regression and hold space for spiritual circles, both online and in person. But my main speciality is to space clear remotely from a floor plan.
Yes. Okay, you have to tell us what space clearing is.
Okay, so space clearing is the removal of negative energy from properties. So, you know, when you've walked into a room or a building and it just feels off, you just don't like it, you don't want to be there.
Yes.
Or you walk into a place and it's like, oh, this feels really nice, this feels like home, this feels really comfortable. What you're doing is you're picking up the energy of that building. We even say if there's been an argument in a room, you walk in, you say you can cut the atmosphere with a knife. So what you're doing is picking up on the energy of the property. Every time this happens, we're leaving bits of our energy as well. So if you have an argument, then you're leaving parts of that argument are like a memory in the building where it's happened. So obviously, if there's been lots of negative stuff, there's lots of negative energy would be held in the walls, as it the same as we hold negative memories. So what we want to do with space clearing is remove that and enhance all the positive, all the love, all the fun, and make our properties, our homes, our workplaces nice and energetically sparkly clean, so that we attract more things, good things into our lives. We feel better, we have more energy, we have more success, things just go smoother. And I believe that as we do clear the negative energy, and let's face it, right now we are bombarded with negativity the whole time. If we can remove even a little bit of that, it has a ripple effect, a positive influence on ourselves, on people around us, on our communities, and the world in general. So my aim is to change the world one property at a time. But obviously, I'm one person, so I can't do it all on my own.
I don't know. I think it's something crazy. Like one person affects, like, I don't know, 7 million people throughout their lifetime. The effect
Yeah.
is so fascinating. Okay. So you have to tell me the backstory again. I want our listeners to hear this because you started talking about it last time, like how you knew you had a gift. And it was so
Yeah.
fascinating. Okay.
Yeah, so when I was a kid, I could always see spirits. And in fact, I was much happier living in the spirit realm rather than the human one. Humans scared me, terrified me. If the doorbell rang, I hid. I was such a nervous child. My mum even got called into school because I would shake as I walked across the classroom. I was so terrified of people. Um, and I think I must have been about 12 when I was like, you know what? This isn't how I'm going to spend this lifetime. So since then, I've pushed myself out of my comfort zone and I continue to do that all the time. And then I happened to fall into a state agency when I left school. I applied for a job, got a job as an estate agent, started working as an estate agent in London, and was always able to sell the properties that no one else could. I didn't realise what I was doing at the time, never heard of space clearing, didn't have a clue. Um, I just would
I'm
ask.
just going to clarify that for our listeners is real estate, right? So you were like,
Yeah, real estate. Sorry. Yeah.
yeah. No, I tracked. I just
um,
wanted to make sure everybody understood that. Okay. Keep going.
yeah. Sorry. Real estate.
I love the difference. I love your accent. I'm like enamored. Okay.
um, Yeah, so I was always able to sell the properties that no one else could. If there was a spirit, I'd ask that it got moved to the light, and just naturally didn't think anything of it. And then yeah, so roll on a few years. This was happening all totally without me knowing what I was doing, really. And then roll on a few years, 2 kids later, we moved home, and I knew there was no spirits in our house, but it just felt off, like really off. The black bedroom with the black ceiling wasn't helping, but that went really quickly.
Wow.
But I still didn't feel right. Even after painting that room, it didn't feel right. And I was talking about it from a friend of a friend, and she went, you want a space clear? I was like, what is space clearing? It was before Google was really a thing. That's how long ago it was. And so she told me to start clapping around the property, use incense to go around the property, and that would help to change the energy. So that's what I did. And as I did it, I got all this history of the property, all this history of what had happened, which wasn't particularly pleasant in this instance, and was able to clear the energy of the house. And we actually lived there for quite a few years after that. But when I spoke to her, she went, not everyone sees that. In fact, most people don't see anything. They can feel the difference. The property might become lighter, but they don't see the history. Well, of course, I had no clue. I thought it was totally normal. So, yeah, so that's how it all started, totally by accident.
Yes.
And yeah.
I love that so much. Like you were being spoken to and you didn't even know.
No clue. No clue. The arrows were there and I was oblivious.
I love it so much.
And the arrows kept coming. So they kept coming in the form of, I'd space clear all of our houses that we lived in. We've lived in a lot of houses. And then if people had a problem, friends or family or even acquaintances said they had a problem, like there was a bad smell or things kept moving or just didn't feel right, then I'd go and space clear their houses for fun. Like you do.
I love it so much. I feel like, okay, I have so many thoughts about this. Tell us about, I am a big fan of like the science of spirituality, right? Because it's all about energy. And so
Yep.
our vibration that we vibe at matters. High vibration,
Yep.
low vibration. You're using the term clean energy to describe high vibrational qualities, right?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what does clapping do? I have a terrible echo. Can you hear that on your end?
I can hear it a little bit sometimes. It's not too bad at the moment.
I'm going to I keep trying to use my things and they're not working. I'm so sorry.
No, that's fine.
I don't know if that's a lag in the Wi-Fi or what.
I don't know. Most of the time you're okay. It's only every now and again.
Okay.
But you are a bit blurry.
Okay. I can hear you so much better now. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. There is definitely an echo, but I'm just going to work through it. Hopefully that comes out fine. Okay. Okay. So clapping. Tell me about the clapping.
Okay. So the sound changes. I've got the echo now.
You do? I wonder if we should like pause and reconnect. I don't know. There's not a noise cancellation.
Hang on, let me speak again. Oh, no, it's gone again.
Okay, so I just took you off my headphones.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we'll just do that. Okay. So clapping, the sound itself.
Yeah, so the clapping, the sound, and it's the intention actually. You put the intention behind it, but sound clears. That's why people enjoy things like sound baths, right? Because it clears the energy, it changes the energy to a higher frequency.
Okay.
But if you start clapping around your house, and I suggest you try this,
Yes.
you can hear the change. You can hear the change in the clap.
Okay. I love it so
Yeah,
much. Okay.
you can hear the energy changing.
And what about the incense? What does that do?
The smoke again is clears the energy. So I now use I use incense, Palo Santo, and sage,
Okay.
right, which have all been used forever
Yeah.
by ancient civilizations, ancient cultures have always known about smoke being cleansing. That's why we have candles in churches, incense in churches, Native Americans, that all of the native peoples used smoke and sound actually as well.
Okay.
So this is just bringing what all cultures really at some point have known about and we've lost along the way.
Yes, because we're so afraid. In fact, I was sitting in church Sunday and the pastor was speaking out against free writing and the Enneagram and cosmic energy and horoscopes. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe they're still afraid of this." Like, what? I don't get it. I don't get it.
No, no.
It's just we're energy, and it takes Christians in the US. I don't know what they're like in England. I guess you're in Spain, right?
I'm in Spain, yeah.
Are they what is the temperature like there? Are they receptive more so than the US, you think?
Um I don't know actually. I think that there's different sections of the communities everywhere. It is interesting when I meet someone that who's got something to hide because they think I can read their mind, which obviously I don't do that. Right, that's would be so wrong on so many levels. But as soon as what stands out in my mind is I met a husband of a friend of mine, and he put up so many walls that I wasn't trying to read his mind. I don't do that, right? But he'd put so many barriers up that all these walls were just appearing in front of my face. It's like I wouldn't have even seen that if he hadn't have been trying to protect himself. I was like, okay, what are you trying to hide?
Oh my
So
gosh.
there is an element of people that are worried by what I do because they totally misunderstand what my intentions are, and my intentions are the highest good of always,
Sure,
right? I don't go around reading people's minds.
sure.
That's just so
You're not
wrong.
using it for evil.
No.
Right.
So there is a percentage of people that just like, oh, back off, because they're mainly worried about being found out, I believe. And then, but in the Spanish village where we live just outside a Spanish village, and they call me the witch, but in a lovely way.
Okay.
When we first moved here, we opened a bar, and the locals gave us a witch as a good luck charm. So I'm quite happy with the locals here where we live now calling me the witch, because I believe that they believe I'm a good luck charm.
Right.
So that's cool.
I love that. You say we. Are you married?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
call myself a witch. I've got a group of girlfriends here, and we're all very like into woo woo, natural healing, and energy work, and all the things. And we call ourselves witches. And I'm pretty convinced I was probably burned at the stake when they were doing that. Like I've reincarnated as a woman that was burned.
I know I was. I have past life memory of at least 3 lifetimes being murdered for being a witch.
Oh my gosh, that gives me chills all over my body. Do you think that we reincarnate as different genders also?
You definitely can. Definitely
I feel
can.
like I've been a black man in a previous life.
Yeah. We all my belief. If it doesn't resonate with you, leave it. But this is my belief, right?
Yes.
Is that we all have been the victim, the perpetrator,
Yes.
male, female,
Oh, yes.
right? That's my belief.
Yes.
We're on Earth. It's a school. It's a learning opportunity.
Yes.
So we want to experience everything life has to offer.
Yes.
So if that's the case, then we've been everything. Otherwise, why would we keep coming back?
Do you believe that we ascend? Like, I think that Jesus ascended. I think that's why he disappeared, and why, they say that he died and rose again, because he ascended. His spirit had learned all the lessons. He was finally a master, right?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
happened?
With
Go ahead.
my belief is that it's very unlikely that normal people are gonna go, okay, I've learned all I need to know, I've fulfilled my soul contract, and that's it, I'm not coming back again. I think it's very few people will have learned everything that they signed up to learn at this present moment. We're not talking like 20 years time, things could be totally different and more people could ascend, right? But at this present time, I think that most people will come back again because they haven't learned everything that they signed up to learn. However, people like Jesus, Buddha, again, is another one. Archangel Metatron was, if you believe the writings about him, he was Enoch in the Bible. These were highly studied individuals that were able to then rise to another level so that they don't need a human body.
Yes.
Now, I'm not saying that we might not have a rest for 100 years or so before we come back.
Right.
And that I believe that we are likely to be someone's spirit guide for a while. We're going to come back and tell our loved ones we love them. All of that I believe too, right? But I don't think we're going to ascend the majority of us.
Right.
At this present time, I don't think there will be some, but they will have really done the work in every lifetime. I believe that I haven't done enough. Not I'll have to come back, for example.
I still fight my ego way too much. I'm between 3D and 5D, like, consistently.
Yeah.
That is quite a challenge to stay in a high energetic level of love, joy, those things.
And also 5D, we're meant to be able to let go of the material things, not worry about money,
Right.
not worry about other people, not be judgmental. And I personally don't think I've met anyone that I would say was totally at 5D. Yeah, you might have moments you're there.
Right.
But I haven't met anyone who's not worried or judgmental or critical.
Right. Occasionally.
Right.
Yes. I fight that in myself. These are some fascinating things that I immediately came to my mind. Last night I woke up at 3 a.m. and I have a box fan that sits right next to my head in the RV that I'm living in. And it looked like a person. And I said out loud, I was between dream and sleeping, and I said out loud, what are you doing? And then I laid there and I thought about that movie, Sixth Sense.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I think your perception of spirits could either be positive or negative, right? And everything is about your perception. And so I chose to be like, that was my spirit guide, just watching over me while I slept.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
And it probably was.
I definitely felt in my spirit like someone was there.
Yeah. And they probably were.
Right.
My husband is always playing. My husband's always playing tricks on me. He'll hide behind the door and he'll go, and then he'll go, hi. And he'll go, you jumped. Why did you jump? I said, because I thought you were a spirit and you're you. And he's like, you're the only person I know that jumps at a human. And it's like, why aren't you a spirit? You're human. What's going on?
Okay, so we touched last when we spoke the first time about your parents both having this gift and how you didn't know it
Yeah,
about your father, right? Until he died, but you
yeah,
knew it about your mom. Tell us a little bit about that.
yeah. So, growing up, it wasn't spoken about in my house at all. My mum was terrified. We had a spirit woman who was on the stairwell or in my bedroom. And the stairs were blocked in by plasterboard. And so she could only be at the top of the stairs or in my bedroom until that came off. And then she was all around the house. But my mum was terrified of her just because she was spirit. So she wouldn't go to bed without the light being on in the hallway. So it was never mentioned unless I was with my aunt who does this sort of work. And so we would wind my mum up a little bit by telling her what we could see. Um, but my dad never said a word, not a word, until after my mum died. And we were actually in Spain house hunting, and he was in a separate apartment to us. And he said, "Sam, who are all these people in the apartment?" I'm like, "What? What do you mean? You can see them?" He went, "Oh yeah, I've always been able to," but he'd never told me because my mum was so scared. He didn't want to upset her, and I'm pretty sure my grandmother was as well, but that it was never mentioned. It was never mentioned.
So you said your aunt also had that gift.
Yeah, but the other side of the family, my mum's side.
Okay.
But I think my dad's mum was psychic as well, but it was never mentioned.
Oh my gosh, I love it. So my grandmother was labeled paranoid schizophrenia. She had paranoid schizophrenic. And she talked to people all the time. And we just labeled her as crazy, you know. And they did electric shock therapy on her. And she did not leave her house for the last, I don't know, 20 years of her life maybe. Uh but I loved her. I thought she was so interesting. And I
Yeah.
think that she knew a lot about what was going on, way more than people in 3D world do, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that a lot about mental health people, we label them a certain way when they're really just gifted.
I totally agree. I work with some people that have what well you could say they're on the spectrum if you believe in labels. And I'm always saying it's not a label, it's your superpower.
Yes.
Use it as your superpower because that's what it is.
Yes.
You're so talented in so many areas. Stop labeling yourself and start seeing it as your superpower.
Yes. I agree. Have you seen that movie Split? I'm bringing up M. Night Shyamalan
No.
movies.
What's it called? Split.
Split, yes. There's a quote in there where it's about a man that has multiple personalities. And in the end, he says, it is the broken that are the more evolved. And
Yeah.
that resonates so much with me that
Yeah, agreed.
you can't go through this life without pain, but you can use that pain to make you fucking amazing, right?
Agreed. Yeah, agreed.
It's so fascinating. So tell me, like, what is the most interesting story you've had about like clearing a house? Do you have any of those?
Oh, crikey, where do I start? I've written a whole book on it.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did
Yes.
you not know I wrote a
Okay.
book?
We need to know. I don't research my guests at all because yes, yeah,
Look.
I did
Echoes within
know
walls.
that. Yes.
Um, so one of, well, okay, we'll talk about, okay. So I didn't believe there was demons. I didn't want to believe there was demons, right? I was in total denial. So they gave me a property to space clear that was full of them. I was
Mm.
like, okay, then I have to change my mind. So that was eye opening because I was asked to do this plot of land. It actually turned out that there was a house on this plot of land, and there still was a house on this plot of land. So this house could be amazing, apart from the fact that it had a portal to the demonic, not helped by the fact that it had probably 200 years worth of black magic attached to it. And it was like, oh my God. And I was doing it from home. It was in one of the Spanish islands, actually. So I was doing it from home because it's not travelable from here. Well, it is, but I didn't. And it was so heavy that I had to keep leaving my office and coming back. I was like, whoa, okay, I'm going to leave, come back, leave, come back. And I had to I was told to put like a titanium lid on this portal. And I was shown all of the symbols and all of the demonics and all of the bodies that were buried as well. And it's like, whoa. And that was a real eye opener because I had to change my opinion as well. Because I did not believe that there was demonic energy. I believed that some people behave that way and behave badly, but we're all inherently good, and that the devil was just something that was there to scare us and not real. I now know a little bit better.
Okay, so was someone holding the phone walking through the property, or how do you
No.
virtually?
No, basically they sent me a floor plan
Oh,
and an address.
okay.
So it's just a floor plan and address. In this instance, they sent me a Google location as well. And then I draw out the property, and then the information just starts arriving.
So how do you, okay, well, how did they know to have it cleared? What was happening for them to know that there was something going on
They were trying to sell it.
and they couldn't?
So they had, yeah, no, this is a client I work, he's a property investor, and I work with him a lot. And he'd bought this house. He didn't even want to buy this house, but he'd bought this house because of his ex-wife, and he'd been trying to sell it for a long time, and it wouldn't sell. And I'm not surprised it wouldn't sell when I space cleared it. So the reason he came to me was because not only was it not selling, there's legal issues with parts of it, which it's still an ongoing situation because of the legal issues, and there's not a lot energetically I can do about that. However, it is in a much better place to be sold now, and I do revisit it. I've revisited it 4 times because the energy was so bad that it's like it's not a one and done. You got to keep going until the layers have gone on in a situation like this. Sometimes when I'm space clearing houses that are on the market, or there's an issue with whatever the issue may be, it is a one and done for that issue. On other occasions, it's more layered, so it needs to be done more than once.
Oh,
So I do it until we've got the result we're looking for. I keep going back until we got the result we're looking for.
okay. And on your end, are you like in a state of meditating? Like, how do you get into the space where you can even feel it?
I protect my energy is the first thing I do. So I protect my energy, and then I call in my angels and guides, and I ask them to reveal what I need to know. And then I just start as if I was starting in person. So, well, no, that's not true. I draw the plan, which I wouldn't do if I was in person. So I draw the outline of the building, and it's really basic. One client did it on a napkin on the underground, right? The metro, is it the metro or the underground in the States?
The metro, that works.
Okay.
Subway, I think that's what they call
Subway, that's it. So in England, it's the underground.
Mhm.
Here, it's the metro. In the States, the
Mm-mm.
subway. Anyway, she drew the plan out on a napkin while in the subway. So that's how basic the plan needs to be.
Okay.
And and then I redraw it. I write the address on it, and then away we go. And I ask for all the information, and then I do sit, or I do the washing up, or I leave it a while to make sure I get all of the information before I close it all down.
Okay. This is so fascinating to me. I feel like there are so many different types of clairs, right? It's clairvoyant.
Yeah.
What are you? What is your Are you clairvoyant?
Uh, yeah. Yeah. That's really difficult because I'm a bit of all of them.
Okay.
I wouldn't label myself because sometimes I see, sometimes I feel, sometimes I hear. So it's like, okay, I don't know. I'm just me.
I love it. So, I wanna go back to your friend's husband that had walls up when you met him. I find that so interesting also, 'cause I feel like I sense that on people, whether I I don't really know what to do with that, but I can sense when someone is not authentic, right? And
Yeah, I just it makes me laugh.
and what do you do? I mean, how are you sometimes I call them out on it, but mostly I just stay away as I don't really feel.
No, yeah, I can't be bothered, to be fair. It's their stuff, not mine. I totally I totally know why he put the walls up. I totally know the situation they were going through. So it's like he doesn't need to do that because I don't care. And if you don't like me, that's none of my business, right? That's your problem, not mine.
Right,
Right? It only becomes my issue if I'm bothered by it.
right,
So it's taken me a lot of years to work out, and I say this a lot to my circle guys, if someone doesn't like you, it's none of your business,
right. I
right? That's their stuff, not yours.
Mhm.
No one's ever going to be everyone's cup of tea. And if they are, they're not true. Do you know what I mean? They're not real because you can't please all the people all the time. You just can't.
Well, we weren't created to. It's, like,
No.
completely contradictory to the law of the universe, you know? You're supposed to be attracted to some and repulsed by others.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And just be authentically you. And that's all you can do.
and, people I just did a reel on this. I feel like you liked it, so I may be repeating myself, but, we've gotten so good at hiding who we are, and it is incredibly detrimental to ourselves and everyone around us also, because
Yeah.
the beautiful part of being a human is that we're beautifully flawed. We are perfect
Yeah.
just as we are.
Perfectly imperfect.
Right. But integrating all of that stuff, transmuting the energy is essentially what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
You're transmuting
Yeah.
it. You're just looking at it, acknowledging it, accepting it for what it is, and then transforming it into a high vibrational quality.
Yeah.
And that's what humans are meant to be doing with their dark side, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, do you have language for that you can help me understand that concept more?
Um, I believe I'm trying to work out how I explain this. So I believe that we are all capable of living a high vibrational life. Yes, we're gonna dive sometimes. Some days will be higher vibe than other days because we're human, and that's what the human experience is about. And yes, there's going to be days when we're feeling negative, and that's fine. Just don't live there, don't
Mm,
bury yourself in that negativity.
mhm,
Do something that makes you happy
mm,
to get your vibration up there. But with the property, it's much simpler because although I believe they hold memories like people do, they don't have the same emotions as people do, right?
Yes.
So it's much easier to remove those memories, those imprinted energies, to be able to then help ourselves live a higher vibrational life, because we're not affected by the energy we're actually living in. Because if you're living in a place that is dark and uncomfortable and just is draining your energy all the time, what's that going to do to you?
Mm.
That's going to make everything feel like you're walking through treacle, right? It's going to be hard work. Everything's going to be hard work. And if we can clear that energy so that we are putting ourselves in the best place available to start from, then it makes the human experience easier. And let's face it, right? We're absolutely bombarded with negativity and fear porn, right? We don't want to be living in that as well. Our TVs and our devices are feeding us fear, hate, and diversion, right? And
Yes.
separation.
Yes.
Right? So if we can protect ourselves from that and not go down that hole of, oh my God, how bad is everything? Then we will be in a much better place to be able to handle whatever comes.
I think I just thought this morning, like I'm done with people being wet blankets, like people that just come over and they want to dampen your spirit. You know, they don't even know they're doing it. They're just so stuck in the negative programming, right? But
Yeah.
those same people sometimes are also life-giving. So people cycle in and out of, I mean, some people do. Some people stay in the low vibrational emotions, right? But institutions also do the same thing, like Christianity. And when I started on my serious deconstruction, I don't know, do you know who Richard Rohr is? Have you heard of him?
No.
Okay. He's a Franciscan monk, I think, or priest. I don't know what he's.
Oh, yes, I have heard of him.
Okay. That was his whole point of his theology is Christians are so stuck on the idea of hell and condemnation and earning the favor and the love of God. And yes, there are parts of that woven into the scripture, but they just focus on it. That's the whole theme of their doctrine, right? When if you read the Bible through a lens of being life-giving, it's a totally different book and it transforms
Uh,
who you are.
but I think that goes for any religious text
Yes.
and any religious dogma.
Yes.
And I think, unfortunately, what's happened through the centuries is that it's turned into the a power struggle. Do you know what I mean? There's only the priest can talk to God.
Mhm.
No, that's not true.
Mhm.
We are all part of God
Mhm.
or the universe, the creator, Buddha, whatever you want to call it, the higher power. We are all part of that, which means you can talk to God as much as your priest or I can.
Mhm.
There's no separation. But with religions and the dogma of religion, it's all about power and money.
Mhm.
It's not about empowering you.
Yeah. And
Not in all cases. Not in all cases.
sure.
In the majority.
Sure. And I was having a conversation with a man that's a boomer, and he was very angry about people. I'm having my what did he say? My electrician talk to me about medicine now. And I'm like, why does that make you so angry? I said the information is out there. You can't contain it anymore. And no one is the gatekeeper of the information anymore. And
No.
he's so angry because they've been taught that there are certain people that I specialize in this, so you don't get to speak on that topic. That's why we go to doctors because we trust what they have to say over our own body. And
Well,
I'm like,
some do.
right. Like, not for me, but it's so interesting to me that they have been taught also to fear information getting out, and that extends into the religious sect.
Yeah.
You can't know God the way that I do because you didn't go to seminary. You're not a pastor. You're not whatever it is. It's so fascinating to me.
Yeah. And with the space clearing, bearing in mind I'm in rural Spain, I'm in Andalusia, right, which was all about the Spanish. Oh
Requisition.
crikey! The words are escaping me.
Requisition, right? Spanish requisition.
No, not requisition. Oh my goodness!
Conquest, Spanish.
Come back.
Now I got to look it up.
Basically, about 800 years of the church battering people. Inquisition.
Yeah, Inquisition, not
Spanish.
We had a shared brain fart.
We did. And then we had the Civil War as well, which is more recent. And so when I space clear properties here, the amount of hiding, the amount of priests who are really getting my face about me being evil, and they were not men of God. The spirits that I'm meeting were not men of God. They were using the church for their own disgusting wants and needs. And so it really is like, okay. It's just like, that's not how it's meant to be. We all can have our own unique and genuine connection with the higher power, God, creator, universe, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And the church, I have no problem with the church if it doesn't hurt other people. If you find solace in going to church, then do it.
Sure.
Just don't hurt anyone else.
Sure. I don't know. I do kind of feel like they're doing harm, even if you're not taking it that way. Anything that preaches that we're separate from the divine and need something to get to it is harmful.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Yeah. But if for some people it brings them comfort, if it brings you comfort and you're not hurting anyone else, go for it.
Yeah, I agree. I had that conversation with my 15-year-old this weekend when I realized, what he was being exposed to in the church that he goes to. And it was very upsetting to me at first. And then he was able to verbalize to me, Mama, I love my faith. I love being a Christian. It gives me a lot of joy. And I was like, okay, then I get it.
Yeah.
It's your journey. I'm not going to take that away from you. And all I can do is just tell him, and I tell him every time, you're divinely protected and guided. You're beautiful and chosen and worthy. And you are here to be your damn self. That's your job. Don't let anyone tell you
agreed.
differently. And that's all I can do is just preach, truth and joy and love all over them.
And that's all you can do, unfortunately. We all have free will, including our kids.
I mean, do we really have to go that far?
I know. It's this free will thing's a right bugger.
I heard once, I would love to hear your feedback about this, that the only free will we have is our perception. Do you agree with that statement?
No.
Okay, tell me why.
Because I think our free will is very much squished if we allow it to be, but we do still have freedom to some degree on the choices we make. We can decide whether we're going to comply or not. We can decide whether we're going to turn right or left. So we still have some semblance of free will. We don't have total freedom, but we do have some free will to make the decisions, whether we go to church or not, whether we learn to drive or not, whether we drink or not, whether we drink coffee or not. We do have some some semblance of free will. So it's like with oracle cards, I don't do predictive readings because it's more of guidance, because you could decide to turn right out of your drive instead of left and to change the whole direction of your life if you decide to. So we do have some resemblance of free will. We don't have freedom, but we do have free will. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. And I hear what you're saying. And also, I feel like, I mean, we wouldn't make the decisions that we're making unless we were totally aware of what was happening. Does that make sense? Like, if you're choosing to frame something through the lens of some negative, fearful, scarce idea, then you're going to go left instead of right.
But if you're living in fear, then you have less free will.
Right.
The more in fear you're living, the less empowered you are, because you're always like, oh my God, but they're telling me I can't do that. And if I do that, this is going to happen.
Right. So it all comes back.
So you can't. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
But you still have free will. You can choose not to be in fear.
Right.
Or you can choose to be in fear and do it anyway.
Right.
And go, okay, my intuition is telling me I want to go right, and everyone else is telling me to go left. And it would be easy for me to go left, but my intuition is stronger and it's telling me to go right, so I'm going to go bloody right. And that's hard to do.
Yes,
it is hard to do.
It is.
But I tell you what, it's easier in the long run. Every time I've not listened to my intuition and taken the easy way out, right, it's turned into a right shit show.
Isn't that so true?
That's an angelic expression there.
Good grief. I'm like, it's so fascinating because I know all of this stuff in my head. And I mean, I think for me, the tricky part is romance, right? Is I know someone isn't right for me. But that ego self is like, oh, but I need to be soothed. I need someone to see me and hold me and validate me. And it's like a constant fight with my own brain and body. You're like, stop it, Rebecca. You know that this man gives you bacterial infections or whatever it is. So good. And then you're like, stop it. Can we just be done? Did we get it yet? How many times do we have to learn? Really? It's so fascinating.
But you could choose to attract the right sort of man.
Yes.
You could choose to do that. But you obviously like the naughty boys.
Right. Listen, I'm almost done with that. Okay. I am. I think I'm very close to being done attracting, because at the end of the day, it's all about what I think I deserve, right? Because there's a piece of me that still thinks that I don't deserve full on, beautiful, expansive partnership.
Yeah.
So I'm fighting against that. And I know it all comes down to that. And it's that little girl piece. And, I just pray that the spirit will reveal it when it's time for me to receive whatever it is that I've got.
And you know what? It's okay to have some fun.
That's true. That's true. I mean, we're supposed to follow our joy, right?
Right, indeed. You just don't move in with them.
I mean, there's consequences to everything that you choose, right? So if I know in my head it's just feeding my ego and I still do it, I deserve the consequences,
And you know what? Sometimes that's okay as well.
Right.
Maybe give yourself a break.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be a struggle either, right?
No.
We're supposed to flow. I think that is fascinating also, because the more you live in the spirit, the less you crave the shit.
Yeah.
I drink so much less than I ever have in my life. And it was very easy for me to make that choice,
Yeah.
I quit smoking. I don't smoke as much marijuana as I used to. I'm like, these choices, like, they were just easy. It was like, why do I want to do that? I love being who I am in this moment. I love it so much. Thank you so much for your time. Do you have any final thoughts you want to share with us?
No, just everyone go and space clear your house.
Yeah.
Unless you're scared or you've got mental health issues. Because if you're scared, you're going to attract more things to be scared of. So you probably won't see anything. But if you're scared you might, then don't do it.
Okay, tell us how we need to do that just on a basic level.
Okay, a very basic level, go round, set your intention, put your angelic protection on. It's free on my YouTube or my website. And go round the room, clapping, Joss 6, Palo Santo, Sage, same thing. Bells, singing bowl if you got it, whatever you've got to hand, just follow your intuition and clear the energy of your house. It's all about your intention to clear the energy of your house. But make sure you put your spiritual protection on first. If you've already got practice, do that.
Okay. So putting on your spiritual protection is, give us an example of what that looks like.
Okay, so I do it in the shower, right? On my website and YouTube channel, there is what I do.
Okay.
So I cut any cords that are holding me back. I clear my energy with Archangel Metatron. I then imagine myself in a bubble of light, a bubble of protection from the universe that stops anything negative getting to me.
Okay. And you can do
But
that.
you can find that. Yeah, I do it in the shower.
Okay.
Make it a daily practice because it helps to you not to get other people's negativity on you as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just, when you're walking around, you meet someone who's in a bad mood, their energy doesn't stick to you then because you don't want other people's crap.
Okay. I love it so much. I walk in nature every morning and I hug trees. And I know I look like a crazy
Cool.
person, but I'm feeling the energy like in my body. Just rev me up. Give it to me.
Yeah. Keep doing that. It's fab.
Yeah. No, I totally will. I enjoyed this so much. Tell us where to find you and all the things.
Okay, so everything is Sam Angel Guide. My website is samangelguide.com, Facebook, Sam Angel Guide, Instagram, Sam Angel Guide, and YouTube,
Okay.
Sam Angel Guide.
Okay. I love it so much. I'm going to stalk you forever.
Okay, cool.
Thank you so much for doing this with me.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. Don't go anywhere.